Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day. I don't know, it's low 70s. There's a bit of wind, but it's pretty nice outside. So thought we'd go for a ride, tell you a story. So anywho, last week, I was coming back from Uncle Billy's house, and my timing chain snapped. I didn't know it then, but I kind of knew. I thought maybe it was just a sensor or something, but nah. You think, how could that be? The truck's only got 115,000 miles, but yeah, so that's what happened. And then this whole week that ensued, it was a day or two to figure out, okay, can I fix it? No. Oh, it's the belt. Okay. And then it's like, all right, do I want to do it myself or whatever, or have somebody else do it? Watch like 30 videos on how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. But then I'd have to tow it. I just didn't want to spend a lot of money, So finally decided on Merlin's over here by my house. I talked to the guy. They'd let me bring my parts over there. So, I ordered some parts off of Rock Auto. I ordered a whole timing kit, which is man, they really screwed this up over here. It's the belt and the water pump. That looked like an old Honda. Belt, the pump, and a tensioner. So I was like, well, either way, if I'm going to do it or they do it, I need to order the parts. That was only like $103 shipped. That wasn't too bad. So talked to those guys, and they charged me $500 to do it, and they said a day or two. So Wednesday night the parts came in, and like Wednesday afternoon, and then Wednesday night, me and Uncle Billy, he towed me over with a strap. I kind of told you this, I think. I don't know if it was in a video, motovlog that I put out, but basically he took me over there, and so I was like, okay, cool. Then they started work Thursday, and they were pretty cool about it. I was hoping for like a little bit more communication. Man, this is all screwed up. A little bit more communication. They called me. I was like, okay, well, you ever gone to or had your car worked on or bike worked on, and you're like, oh, if something's wrong, call me. And it's like I had to keep reaching out to them, which I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird. But I talked to them on Thursday, and they're like, yeah, well, we're waiting for a puller, and I guess they didn't have a puller for the harmonic balancer. Man, it's windy. That's why I took the Rebel, because on the ground I'd be all over the place. So I was like, all right, it's like, what, we tore into it. We got some stuff, we can't completely finish. We're gonna wait till Friday. So it's like, okay. So shit. So I can't tell if they're stopping or not stopping. It looks like they're stopping. Okay. So it's like, I asked them, you gonna be done today? Oh yeah, by noon. We'll be done noon on Friday. All right. So again, if things are going on, you'd think that they'd call you and be like, hey, we're running into issues or whatever. And the manager over there, he's all right. It's this, other guy that they, I don't know, he's working the front or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that, he didn't seem to be very good at communicating the fact that, I'm like, oh, hey, looking for Caesar. Oh, he's not here, whatever. Okay, I'm like, well, have him call me, so that I can find out what's going on, right? And, Ambo. So, just wait a second here. Oh, they're coming this way. So anyways, it's just kind of like, you start to get that feeling like, man, are you avoiding me? Or why aren't you calling me? Or whatever the deal is, So it's like, I'm like, okay. So they call and leave a message. Oh, hey, and I call them back. Yeah, damn lights. The serpentine belt tensioner is not really springing back, and I'm like, it worked when I dropped it off. What are you talking about? I'm like, fine, whatever. So they're like, we need that and a belt. Fine. I'm like, I'll go get the parts, because they're like, we can't really find any parts close. I had to drive all the way up to South Elgin. I get the parts, spend another $100. So now I'm $200 in parts in, right? I'm like, all right. I bring it back, drop it off. They're like, cool. We'll get it done. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm hoping to get it done by 6 p.m. That's when they close on Friday. I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me know. Let me know, right? And it's like 5:30, and I've heard nothing. This is what I'm talking about, It's like, so I call up there. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, well, yeah, we're not done yet, It's like, okay, okay. I'm like, so tomorrow? And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, we're working on it. It's like, okay. So I'm like, fine, screw it. So then, it's not like I don't have a car. I got a bike, I got bikes, I got a car, I'm good. So, I'm like, well, okay, when tomorrow? He's like, oh, noon. I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, by the way, we're gonna go to Harley, I think. We're headed this way. So, man, the wind is brutal. So, we're approaching. It was like right around noon. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, I haven't heard anything. Damn, all the bikes are out. Nice. So, anyways, I call up and they're like, oh, well, yeah, there's an issue. And I'm like, what's the issue? And of course I'm talking to this other guy, not the manager guy, and he's like, well, we tried to start it and it won't run. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what's the issue? Well, we don't really know, but we think you need a new engine. Yours is broken. I'm like, wait, what? No. Like, you just don't tell me my engine's fucking broken. We don't know. It's broken. So I was like, okay, listen. It's like, I'm coming down there. I'm like, is the manager's there? Yeah. I'm like, I'm coming down there and we're gonna talk. Yeah, I call, all right. So, me and Grunkle Billy go down there, and I'm like, all right, what's the deal? I'm like, it's is it air, fuel, spark, electrical, or mechanical? What is it? And so we go and talk to the manager, and I'm like, okay, tell me, what's the deal? What's going on here, right? So he's like, I don't know, I'm like, he's like, we cranked it, it won't start. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, these are pretty simple engines. They're not, non-interference. He's like, I know, they're easy, they're simple. I'm like, okay, so what's the deal? Like, are you investigating? I mean, I'm like, you got to tell me what the deal is, I'm like, I said, I don't really appreciate your guy calling me up going, and get this, super like chipper about it too. When I talked to him on the phone, he's like, yeah, I think you're just gonna need a new engine. Like, he had a fucking smile on his face while he was saying it. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This kind of stuff will burn you up. And I'm like, no. So I was like, all right. So we go down there. I'm like, just tell me what's going on. He's like, okay, well, we put I'm like, what kind of tests have you done so far? He's like, well, we compression tested it, and it seems like it's low in 3 cylinders. I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense, I mean, I really don't think the valves are exploded, I'm like, I don't think anything happened. And also I'm thinking, to preface all this, I said to him, hey, listen, before you start any of this work, can you check and make sure that I'm not spending $700 on an engine that's just blown up? Like, that would be dumb, right? So, he's like, oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, it didn't seem like they did that, but in the end, it should be the first thing you did, but it's compression's the last thing you did. Okay. So I'm like, well, that's weird. And he's like, we really want to like pull off the head and take a look at the valves. And I'm like, oh, geez. I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not spending $3,000 fucking dollars on a brand new engine. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, that's how much, because by the time you buy the engine, that's probably $1,800 or some crap, and then their labor to put it in. I'm like, I don't have $3,000 just sitting in my pocket. I got $1,000. That should take care of what I need to do. But then you start contemplating, like, what am I doing? Should I just drag this thing to the friggin' scrap yard? You're like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm like, this cannot be a money pit. This is not this is not the project. I don't want this as a project, So I'm like, listen, what are your plans? Like, how do you plan on figuring out what's actually wrong with this? Hey everybody. So sometimes you just can't win. I went on a ride today, and was telling you all the story of what happened with my truck, and then the battery died on this thing, and I looked at the battery, it was full. Who knows, whatever. I've been seem to be plagued by recording gremlins lately. maybe I need to get a bell and hang it off my camera. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to finish off what I was telling you guys. So we came and sat in the shaker here. This will be here a few more days until hopefully the truck's fixed. But I think kind of where I left off was, I went and saw these guys, and I went to go get my tools, and in the meantime, they figured out why the truck wouldn't run, which was the crankshaft position sensor. Apparently, they did not get it close enough to the harmonic balancer, and so it wouldn't start. What a shocker, stupid vehicles with sensors. I don't know, I hate it. So anyways, point being is that the truck is gonna see the light of day again. Reaper ain't coming for it, so they're gonna finish up tomorrow, and we should be able to get it back on the road. There's only one thing that bothers me, is that when Grunkle Billy was towing me over there, my turn signal stopped working. It's like they were there, but it wasn't flashing, so I'm hoping maybe it was just a low battery or something. I don't know. It's really weird. Hopefully now we don't have electrical gremlins in that thing. Maybe it's just a flasher relay or something. I don't know. What else can go wrong? So, but yeah, so we dodged a bullet. No pun intended. All right, I dodge. So, we dodged a bullet, and hopefully we'll have it back Monday, and then we can keep going. But it's a big thing, like I said, if you got take your car to somebody to fix it or whatever, you better know what's going on, because sometimes I feel like these guys, they'll try to take advantage of people. Well, we already know that. They take advantage of people that don't know anything. That's why I told these guys, I'm like, when I looked at the truck when they first had it, kind of ripped apart, and they weren't sure what was going on, I stuck my Merlin in there, and I was like, yep, cams lined up, yep, oil pumps lined up, yep, cranks lined up. And I was like, the only thing that I did was change out the camshaft position sensor. I'm like, here's the original sensor, put this back in, because you never know if, even though it was brand new, if it works or not. And nothing's better than an OEM anyways, so but yeah, so this weekend wasn't really able to work on anything, because I have no tools, no nothing. They're all in the back of the truck, right? So, but I still have a video coming out for y'all Thursday. This coming up Thursday. There's one already in the can. My all the extras members have already got to see it. I think I probably dropped it like Thursday or Friday. So next Thursday, this coming up Thursday, you guys will see that. It's a video on the Harley. Get a little bit more done. I got some more parts that have come in too. I really want to change the oil on the Rebel and the Grom. We got oil change kits for that. So just stay tuned. This drained my war chest. Like I said, I'm already in $700. So gonna have to build that up a little bit again. That was my backup money, just in case money, and here we go, just in for case. So, but all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one, and hopefully it's warm this week, and we can do some more moto vlogs or something. I rode around down in St. Charles and had some drinks and some lunch today. See maybe if I can pull the video from the dash cam on the bike, and it'll just be like an ASMR ride or whatever. There's gonna be no audio, because there'll be audio, but it's all wind. So, but all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Easy.